Alright guys, what's growing on? February 10th here in Florida, and today is Wednesday, shipping day, and I've got about 25 orders going out today, and I'm really surprised for the time of year how many plants are actually still going out around here. Some things look a little bit rough, some things look awesome, especially what's going on in the greenhouse. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update video, show you what's growing on, what's ripening, and this and that, show you some freeze damage. So we have had a couple of frosts here, a lot of the exposed areas of the farm. Bananas are brown, they will come back, but you know, a lot of the stone fruits are even confused right now. We've got plums setting flowers like no tomorrow, peaches setting flowers, so really hoping we don't get a late February frost or freeze, which is very possible, and damage some of that flower set and potentially mess up our fruit set. So fingers crossed on that one. Good morning, Ginger. All right guys, we're just on the main drive coming into my house, and I wanted to show you the big jackfruit over here, the galangal. Everything's still doing really well, even though I go over to this side and there's lots of cold damage in the more exposed areas on the bananas. You know, you could see this galangal evergreen. This is the Thai ginger, the one commonly used in the tom kha soup. Still looks really good. I mean, there's a couple of old pieces that could probably be pruned out of there, but just moving my way a little bit further north into a more exposed location, here's the galangal where it took a little bit of cold damage on the front. So I'll just prune that off, chop and drop that. The plant's going to rejuvenate fine, but I wanted to show you just the difference in 20 foot with a little bit more overhead protection, a little bit more windbreak, you know, how that took the cold. But really why I stopped here was to show you this stunner in the landscape. And this is one of my favorites. Whenever we have guests, whenever we have friends over, someone comes to visit, you know, we do a little tour. You know, people love to eat leaves, people love to eat flowers, and it always just lights them up when they try one of these. So I'm always talking about Turk's Cap hibiscus, no matter where you're watching me, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, on here on YouTube. This is a favorite for me. This is a garnish. This is a snack. This is one I love to hand kids and say, eat this, because they look at me and they're like, eat that. I can eat the whole thing. It's really important that you try to get the flower part out of that cap, because that's where the sweetest little nectar is here in the end. It's almost like pure sugar. So what I like to do is just kind of hold it like that, and this whole flower is edible, but just know the first inch is like the sweetest. So it's absolutely delicious, but the whole flower is edible. So Turk's Cap hibiscus, stunner in the landscape, awesome to eat, garnish on a plate. I can't say enough about that one. So the girls have been doing a really good job here in the nursery. You can see, I mean, you know, I can't take any credit for how beautiful it looks here. So just so you guys know, I have an awesome nursery staff. So thank you, girls. This is a variegated society garlic. Really excited about this one. Not sure if it's on the store yet, but if it's not, it is coming very soon. So stay tuned on that one. This is the last of the Hibiscus radiatus. Looks a little rough this time of year. Cranberry Hibiscus, another one. Gets a little bit beat up here in the wintertime. You know, you can see we have frost cloth all around the nursery. Every time we're gonna have a night that's below 40 degrees, everything does get covered here. But even with having that cloth on top of it, we'll still get some spots. So, you know, we've been shipping out lots of strawberry trees. First one I always get an email about, you know, this tree looks terrible, it's beat up, it has cold damage. You know, yes, it has some spots from being here. Yes, it might have got spotted just from being in that UPS truck and traveling to you, getting stuck in a cold parking lot overnight. So that tree will come back in springtime. That's nothing to worry about. Same things with the bananas. Like our bananas right now, and I'm gonna try to find one to show you guys. They're really, really beat up. They've got some spots on them. You have to look at these bananas as a seed. You know, they're a tissue culture banana to begin with, so it's a much weaker banana than having like a pup, you know, a field dog pup. But that next banana that comes up is gonna be a really strong banana and be the banana that gives you fruit. So don't give up on that tissue culture. And I'll show you over here, I mean, some of our bananas right now, they're looking really rough. This is all perennial peanut. You know, some of the mulberries in here have gone leafless. A lot of this stuff is, you know, it's not prime time of year. A lot of this we've pulled down. I don't even know if we have the butterfly pea up right now. The Parlor maple, I think that's still on. Sisu spinach we're still shipping some of. But you can see some of these little bananas. They've got a little bit of brown on them. They're gonna come back, they're gonna be fine. They're just a little bit mad. They don't like this time of year, and they don't do much this time of year. You know, as soon as it gets down below 50 degrees with the banana, you know, these ones, I don't even think we're shipping anymore. They look so beat up. We'll wait until they come back here in spring. But just know that these tissue culture bananas are gonna push out some new growth. They're gonna come back, and what more importantly they're gonna do, they're gonna bring on another banana, and that banana is gonna be the one that gives you the fruit. This is what I was talking about with the strawberry tree, the Muntingia. The yellow and the reds, they all have some little spots in them. You know, when we start getting down into the 40s, those spot. So there's nothing we can really do about that one. You know, they will come back in spring. I do believe we're still shipping that one. So this is a really, really excited one. This is a variety of Tibicina that actually makes an edible berry. I got this from a rare fruit collector, Charles Novak. We've been propagating it now for a few months, something you'll see on the store here really soon. I'll try to drop the botanical name on the screen for you for this one, but this is an exciting one. Also a little cold sensitive. Where that blanket was touching, you can see we have a little bit of cold damage. This is our perennial penta, not like a regular annual penta that's been bred away from its pollination properties. This one does really good for bringing in the butterflies and beneficial insects. This time of year, you know, same thing, radiatus really beat up. Mexican sunflower even looks a little rougher. We've got lots of little Cattleya guavas here. I'm pretty sure we stopped shipping the Okinawan spinach and the longevity spinach just because it doesn't like the cold. It gets a little bit rough looking. Here's some better looking Mexican sunflower, Turk's cap hibiscus, and we got the pink and the red, and that has a delicious edible flower. Lots of the spineless, I say spineless, nopales, in variegated and regular. Those still look pretty good. Suriname cherries, elderberry. These are some nice looking Mexican sunflower. I believe those got actually brought inside on the last cold night we had, so that helped them out a lot. More Turk's cap. The last of the Everglades tomatoes, and we've got some sweet almond, but most all these leafless little sticks you see, these are the mulberries. These actually prefer to be planted while dormant. They are actually putting out some leaf growth again, but that's just because they're confused with the weather this year. So typically speaking, those should be leafless still right now. So we've got lots of native tick seed. This is a favorite for me that flowers in the full sun, makes beautiful yellow flowers. Lots of yarrow. This is a medicinal herb. And I got a lot of these Parlor maples. This is a nice one for bringing in beneficials. Really pretty looking flower. And just a cool looking plant for the landscape. So really excited to share this one with you guys. And I forgot to point this out earlier. But this is a long leaf shiso spinach. So I got this from a good friend. And this is just like a genetic freak. So this is like your typical Miami spinach, shiso spinach, but it has a longer, skinnier leaf on it, so a little bit of a different character in the plant. I got this from my good friend Tanya in Safety Harbor, so thanks for sharing this with me. We've been propagating this for about 6 months. It does get a little bit orange, yellowish kind of this time of year, but that's just a wintertime trait. So otherwise, once we get into the summertime, this is a perennial green ground cover that makes an awesome ground cover. It actually does pretty well in shade also. All right, guys, so this is what the mulberries look like this time of year. Pretty much just like a stick. And, you know, a question I always get from people, when is the best time to plant? Can I plant in the wintertime? And just so you know, with items that go deciduous in the wintertime that lose their leaves, it's actually better to plant them in the wintertime. So mulberries, persimmons, pears, peaches, plums, anything that's leafless can be planted all year long. That's when it's putting off root growth. So mulberry is no big deal. It's just an ugly looking tree. You can plant it this time of year. So just know, if you get this stick, do not give up on it. It will bud out. It will grow. Just give it some love and time. Make sure you follow our planting directions. Oh, and we've got some ice cream bean. I think we've been shipping those in 4-inch too. So that's what's growing on. That's what a winter nursery looks like in Florida. The really exciting stuff is inside the greenhouse still. Let's head over there and check that out. These dogs are making all kinds of noise today. So Kiki is, well, still a puppy. She's only 9 months, but she is a 105-pound beast. She's really fit her way into the family quite well. Her and Ginger are kind of best friends, and Ginger actually seems to dominate out here in the field. She's kind of like the alpha. They play like this every day. Ginger does get a little jealous when Kiki gets the attention, so isn't that how it is? Oh, hey. Hey guys, I'm trying to make a video here. Can you stop making so much noise? Hey. Seriously? All right, enough about them. Hopefully the background noise doesn't bother us too much, but I'm about to show you guys some wildness. You guys ready for this? Heading in. So we've got lots of stuff hiding out in the greenhouse right now because of the time of year. We've stuck some other things in here that aren't typically in here just to keep them protected. So you'll see some peanut butter fruits and some soursop, and not strictly Jaboticaba house. I've got my rare fig in here, but I think what's really exciting I want to show y'all was the new growth on some of these Jaboticabas. This is just a regular red variety, and just so you guys know, I probably have, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 fruiting reds of my own that I kept for seed, and all of these are flowering and fruiting right now, and that one's setting some fruit. If it's not setting fruit, it probably has flowers, and they're really loving this change in temperature. Japodocabas really like a little bit of chill. Definitely helps them push on some new growth and gets them stimulated to fruit. Believe this is probably a Paulista. We're not even quite sure on this one. This is one I got from a collector in Miami, and my buddy John Morton thinks it's probably Paulista, but we're not even sure. Waiting to find out on that one. That's one of my not for sale collector's items, but as you can see, these are all giant red Japodocabas. This is the yellow Japodocaba. This is one that I don't have too many for sale on either. This is a personal tree. And you can see as we get in here on the trunk, those are the little flower sets on the red Japodocaba. I've got some that are really going off over there in the back. I wish it was all covered in fresh flowers right now for you guys. But let's see what's growing on in here. So seed trays for days. I invested heavily over the last 6 months, bringing in a lot of new varieties. Hope to have a bunch of those available here maybe summertime. Got a lot of grimmels coming, got a lot of reds, got a lot of scarlets, got a lot of weird stuff. We brought some stuff in from Argentina. Pretty excited. I even brought some stuff in from Japan this year. So we've got some new varieties coming up. These are actually all little whites. These are all red Japodocabas, and you can see these were just potted up maybe in the last, I don't even know, week or two. These just went into like a 1-gallon pot, probably out of a tray, and these are all reds. And look at this new growth. Japodocabas will do this a couple of times a year. Probably one of my favorite times just because they're so pretty. Ooh, kombucha. So those will be a while before they're ready. They took about 6 months to even germinate. Really taking a while to come on here. Oh, here's some more flowers. So if you look up and down the trunk of this tree, you'll see those are all little fruit sets, all little flowers coming on. Right here, right here. So another red going off in here. This one has flowers and fruit on it. I believe every one of them have some kind of flower or fruit. There's a little fruit coming on, little flower. So every year these are going to get heavier in production. You know, and they can fruit 5, 6, 7 times a year, I've heard, just depending on how happy the tree is. So it's all about location. Location. They like a little bit of water, obviously love some love. So, oh, 1-gallon scarlet. Look at that beauty. Tell me that is not just gorgeous. So beautiful little trees. These are all scarlets. So if you order a scarlet from me, how big is a scarlet if I order one in a 4-inch? So this is what it would look like. Cute little tree, I'd say, huh? Quite pretty. And what's really exciting about the scarlet is it can fruit in 3 years from seed. So I know, the reds are quite delicious. They fruit in 5 to 6 years from seed. Scarlet, we're talking 3 years. And then, when you talk about the standard Japodocaba, like the Sabara, we're looking at 10 years, 12 years. So it could be a long wait. But this is a red. So if you buy a little 4-inch red from me, it's not just a little stick. There is a little tree here. This could be grown on a balcony. This could be grown in a more northern climate. This guy could fruit in 5 years. So, if you live in New York, you live in Massachusetts, you live in Maine, you want to grow something a little bit exotic and rare, this could be your Christmas tree in 5 years with fruit on the trunk, Doesn't even need decoration. So, beautiful little tree. Really love these reds. They're coming on strong right now. These are the old bonsai Sabra. So this would be the slowest fruiting variety. Makes a really good rootstock. Also really cool little tree. We were selling a bunch of these for a while. You can see this has a much thicker trunk on it. It's been topped out, and they're kind of pruning it to keep it that short bonsai, kind of stubby size. We've got lots of Eugenias coming on. Cherry of the Rio Grandes, Grumichama, Patangatuba. This is the white Patrantha. Really cool long leaves. This is a rare one. Definitely don't have a lot of these available. What do we got here? This is a little lemongrass. Ooh, look at that cutie. Look at the new growth. Are you kidding? Unbelievable. I really wanted to grab this one though. What? Aren't plants unbelievable? So here's a Pingo de Mel. Not a lot of difference in all of these. You know, when we start getting into all these other rare varieties, the ones you haven't heard of, they definitely become a little bit more of a collector's piece. You know, where you got your maybe 10 most common Japodicabas, but we start getting into some of these ones that you haven't heard before. It's definitely for the, you know, the real enthusiast. So ESQ here with the big leaf. Over here on this side, these are little 3-gallon scarlets coming on. And those are all reds again. You guys think I geek out on Japodicabas just a little bit? Yeah, I kind of got a little crazy in here. The crazier part is, you know, we're still talking about expanding out that side of the greenhouse and going that way. When we get outside, I'll talk to you a little bit more about why I'm going that way. Novak Califloria, Ruby Honey. That's a really pretty one. What is growing on in here? Whoa. Watermelon. Okay. And really excited about these trays right here because this is a seed that I struggled to get my hands on. It's also not a very common available variety of Japodicaba, even though it's one that's quite heard of. This is the Grimmel, the one named after Adolf Grimmel down in the Florida Keys, famous collector. This makes a really big fruit, so excited to get a bunch of those coming for y'all here soon. More Eugenias. Big red Japodicaba. Look at this new growth. Serious. All right, so Japodicabas for days up in here. Got seed? Yep. We've pretty well invested here. Definitely see the future in these guys and get kind of excited. Whoa. All right, so that's an update on the Japodicaba house. Show you guys what's flowering, what's growing on, what kind of excitement we got in here. So definitely a lot of exciting stuff going on in there. I can't wait to get a second one of these built over here. And what I was going to tell you guys was, you know, since I've moved in, we've probably lost, like, I was talking to my wife the other night about it. You know, just being on this property, I absolutely love it. We're on 13 acres, but you know, it's no cheap event trying to maintain a property like this. I probably spend $400 to $600 a month. When you look at it over a year in tree work, I've had some years where I've spent $6,000, some years where I've spent $8,000, just in days out here taking trees down. I have hundreds of live oak trees. These trees aren't small. I mean, we're talking about 100-year-old trees. They're not easy just to take down. A lot of times they're over structures like wells, houses, barns, etc. So the tree work here has been nonstop. You know, the first year I came in, I rented a lift for a month. I trimmed trees all month long for 1 month. I think the rental fee alone was $10,000 because it was one of those big, you know, 18,000 pound JLG lifts. You know, between delivery and getting the thing here, it was a huge chunk just in the rental, not counting my labor, my guys, all of that type of work. So probably had $20,000 my first year alone just in cleaning up the trees here. And then this every year going on, it is continuous maintenance. So definitely a lot to think of when you take on a property of this size. Maintenance is no joke. And what I was getting at here is, you know, we have live oaks, we have laurel oaks, we have white oaks, we have water oaks. And I have a pretty good chunk of these water oaks, and I've already taken 3 or 4 out of this area. This one is almost dead. The one behind it has half dead in it. Just yesterday, I took 3 out on the backside over there. And I say I took 3 out. My neighbor across the street over here, he actually owns a tree service. Whenever he gets a slow day, I get a discounted rate. Those guys come over. So we kind of work with each other. I'm helping him with the food forest over there. He's helping me with some trees. Definitely helping me because I cannot get to all of these trees. Every time I look, there's a flag tree around here. So great for mulch. Kind of stinks when you have it over existing avocados and stuff. You can't just drop the tree, so it is a little bit more technical taking them down. But that tree is going to end up coming out. The tree behind it will end up coming out. Probably end up moving these loquats and stuff over here and creating about another 30 foot. This way we can get another one of these big greenhouses over here in this back area. So lots of exciting stuff to come for 2021. Expanding the nursery, I'm sure, in another couple of places. Got a commercial location opening up down the road. Going to be another by appointment only, but we are expanding nursery operation here. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick follow-up video. Hope you understand the little spots and brownness in some of these plants that are shipping this time of year. Just know it's the time of year. Once we get into spring, things will be back to their beautiful and pretty, like always look. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Most importantly, we pound dirt. Chick.